Yay Media Group.
I used to be like not a road rager.
Oh,
I guess
yes,
I was.
you were.
I know. I'm sorry. I take that back.
I've been with you for a very long time.
But I've never ran somebody off the road or gotten a fight. You know what I mean? I've had rage in my car.
Hey guys, episode 222. Cannot believe it. I say that every single time. I feel like I was scrolling through my phone the other day and I was looking for a photo. Leighton has a little project he has to do. And it's the boys before we started the podcast when we got the walls painted, everything done. They look so young.
Because they are.
Yeah, but I mean, we've only been doing this podcast, 2 years?
Yeah,
a year and a half,
like
something like that. But just in the time, like looking at them now, they look so much older.
Yesterday when we were watching that show and like you had Leighton and I had Lawson, and Lawson was like laying on me and his hands were like, just looking at his hands and his feet and they're getting so big.
So big.
You know, and I'm like, man, we got to soak up these times.
I know. I mean, I say it all the time. We're going to blink and they're just going to be like off at college and then it's just going to be you and I. And then what are we going to do?
I think you got to focus on the present. That's what I'm going to learn to do.
Well, Jeff and I always talk about we're going to travel more.
Yeah. Well, that definitely.
I would rather travel more than buy things, even though they're at the age we still buy things while we're traveling. We're going to Universal Studios. We've told you all that, but I mean, it's official. Everything's like booked and they are so excited. Every single morning they wake up. It's how many more days? I'm like, guys, I just told you yesterday, how many more days? And they're just excited to go back to California.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice. It'll be nice to show them around. And I want to travel more because they're at the age where they'll remember, I think, so I want to wait. But I do want to travel
like 10 and 12
outside the country. And I think you learn a lot from that. I always talk about that on this podcast, but I think you learn a lot from traveling and experience different cultures. It's good. It's a good education. It's fun too, but it's also a good life lesson, this is how you act in their country, same as if you act in someone else's house. You got to learn their rules and play by their rules,
Yeah. I think they need to be a little bit older because like all the walking.
Yeah, like a little bit.
Yeah,
well,
where they appreciate it.
Right.
That, wow, mom and dad took us to Greece or took us to Italy or somewhere like that. And then I don't know if Leighton could handle an 8-hour flight.
They do have to, they do have to be a little older.
I was thinking my 40th is coming up soon. I was like, what could Jeff and I do?
Oh boy.
I have some ideas, but I know he's going to
a lot of milestones. 10 years for us. You're going to turn 40.
You guys, our 10 year is when we're on spring break.
Yeah, when we're in California.
Yeah. I mean, full circle.
Yeah, of
bring
course.
it back. I don't know if we're going to take, I mean, I thought about taking no, it's not. But I thought about taking the kids to where did we go?
Beverly Hills Hotel for lunch. Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't know.
No,
I think they'll be crazy and they're not going to have fun.
We'll go in there and have a $30 beer and then get out of there.
We've talked about this. Yeah, the truffle fries.
We'll get truffle fries to celebrate.
I'm getting $30 truffle fries.
Because there's a little courtyard, if you guys don't know, also in there. And again, our friends took us there for lunch after we got married at the Beverly Hills courthouse. And there's like a little courtyard and we took our wedding pictures, some of them in there. Mm-hmm. So it'd be nice to kind of get those pictures and kind of reenact those like 10 years later with the kids in there.
Holding my belly.
No, remember we had those fake rings that I bought on eBay or Amazon or whatever?
Mine was so bad.
Well, we needed something.
Yeah. No, it was the thought that count. But oh my gosh, that's just a blur. It's such a blur.
What different life ago.
It is. It's such a time. But yeah, we have our anniversary and then we have yay to us for at least making it 10 years.
What do you mean at least? First of all, we were together.
17 years is a long time. I told my mom that. And she was like, you've been with him that long? I was like, I was 22. She's like, oh my gosh. I'm going to be 40 this year. I want to go to Paris. That's what I was thinking. Me and you. I was going to have my family come. And I was like, maybe, because I was thinking I would love to go on another cruise again. And I was like, where could we go on a cruise? I don't want to go to like Alaska or somewhere like that. I want to go somewhere warm. That's somewhere like you and your dad could do something like that. Like look at whales and things. That's not for me. Yeah, icebergs. Like that's you and Keith. Me, I want to go to the beach and I want to bake and I don't want to do anything and I want to be by clear water. So I was trying to think of somewhere that like me and you could go away, that like my parents could come and watch the kids for a little bit.
We'll figure it out.
But my birthday's November, so it doesn't really, but I would love to go to Paris. I've never seen the Eiffel Tower. I've only been to the Paris airport from Amazing Race.
Yeah.
We had it when we were going to Puerto Vallarta.
Didn't we go through Brazil on the Amazing Race?
You told me that, but I don't remember.
Oh, did I say that already?
You said that, but I don't think we did. I was at that
steakhouse and I'm like,
wrong.
He's like, you ever been to Brazil? And I was like, I think we did. We flew into Rio airport. I don't know. Maybe I'm rehashing the story, but I asked you that already.
You did the other day. We talked about it.
Oh, on the podcast.
And I go, Jeff, I don't think we did. And you go, no, I think we did.
I feel like I've had a layover there. Not like it
Maybe.
matters. I didn't see anything. I just went to the airport, but maybe it was on Around the World for free. I don't know.
Oh, that is possible because all like the layovers. Sometimes when you're traveling like that, don't you wish you had like a long layover so you could actually leave the airport and go sightsee and then just come back for your flight?
Yeah, it depends where I'm at.
Yeah. Maybe that was back before kids.
Yeah.
When you weren't packing a million things.
I know. But now we need money to do all these things.
I know. Jeff, speaking of money. So
did you like that transition I set you up for?
Yeah, I do. Well, you can say it because it's your work.
So we're filming this a little early. It might look brighter in here because I got off of work a little early today and came home. We've talked about this too on the podcast, but even I'm confused about the whole process. So I used to work at 9 News here, it's called, in Denver, which is owned by a company called Tegna. And now I work at Fox CW2, which is owned by a company called Nexstar. And if you know the business, those are like the conglomerates that own that. And Nexstar just bought Tegna. And so there's a merger going on and the merge is starting to happen. And I don't know too many details, and again, I don't want to talk out of school, but when a company absorbs another company, there's a lot of cuts that happen because on paper, they want it to look good, I'm guessing, for the stockholders, and it looks good on paper. This is what we're earning, and this is how much we're paying our employees, and then this is our profit margin. Again, I'm talking out of school. I don't know all that stuff, but there are some cuts starting to happen at my work and actually all around. I mean, KTLA, if you're familiar with in Los Angeles, they've cut a lot of their big anchors. I'm from Chicago, so if you're familiar with WGN, they cut a lot of their big anchors. They're downsizing at our work too. They're downsizing at where I used to work at 9 News. So they're just starting the process of the merger happening. But, I just went through this,
a year and a half ago.
Right, with my old job, Daily Blast Live. So it was a rough time, not rougher than what I went through after that, but it was a rough time in our lives. And so I feel for the people who've been there for a decade or 2 decades that are now having to look for new work or maybe career change or retirement, whatever it may be. It's just a tough time, especially if you have a family and you're dependent on that insurance and things like that. It's rough. So a couple of people I know, got let go, and I just feel for them,
I know. Jeff told me yesterday, and I was just feeling, and I don't even really know these people. I don't know a lot of people that he works with, and I was feeling sad because on the wife's side, I was just like, oh man, your friend, it's a coworker and friend, he hadn't told his wife yet. And I was just like, oh man. And then here we go, there you go. And I know the emotions, and I just felt so sad for him and everybody else. And then Jeff, he came home early today, and I go, because Jeff was expecting to get let go.
Yeah, I thought they would stop the show that I'm on. Yeah,
so Jeff, we've already been preparing. We just haven't said anything like on the podcast. So we've already been preparing Jeff to lose his job again. And so it's kind of better when you're prepared and so then you're not so sad, which this wasn't. It's not like you have a connection with it.
I was kind of in the mindset of, instead of being sad for myself, again, this has been a long year and a half that I've went through. But it's like, now I just want inspiration. You know, that's what I'm searching for, is like inspiration. So it's like, I did think that our show wasn't going to go on. And I was like, maybe this is a good thing. All the things that people told me last time, and I'm like, how is this a good thing? But maybe it's like the kick in the ass I need to pursue other things that I've wanted to pursue in my life. You know, we were just talking about how fast time goes, and I don't want any of those regrets. You know, if I keep putting things off, I got to jump in with 2 feet. You know, if you half-ass things, you're going to get half-ass results. So I'm glad to still have a job. That could definitely change, you know?
Oh yeah. You could still lose your job when it happens. Cause people ask me all the time, they're like, how's Jeff doing with his job? Like, what's next? What's this? And I never have an answer for anybody. I'm like, guys, we're just rolling with it. I have no idea what's going on. I was like, we love doing our podcast. We do other things. You know, I do all my stuff on the side. I have a rental and things like that. And then, you know, I go, Jeff has his thing. I was like, we're just rolling with it, because there's no point in stressing yourself out about it and getting sick and upset just like the first time it happened.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like, it's life, you know, just
it is,
we're rolling with it.
And I think, you know,
but it's not just you in your industry. There's other people I've talked to. Like today I was talking to another
that's what I was just
lady,
gonna say, yeah.
And she was talking about her husband. She was like, oh my gosh, she's like, and he makes great money. And she was saying, I'm so worried he's going to lose his job because he has a really good salary. And that's kind of like what's happening. Like people who have really good salaries are just getting cut.
Spring is around the corner. And I think by now, if you're not still sticking with your New Year's goals, you broke them. Now is a good time to restart some of those goals.
Yes. And spring break is right around the corner for us. Spring sports are starting. And with traveling, AG1 keeps us on track. I love AG1's travel packs. They come in 3 and it has the different flavors, the citrus, the berry, the tropical. I've been using my travel packs because I just ran out of some AG1.
Yeah. Until we get our new one, we could try the different flavors. I love them all. I stick with my original. I do it first thing in the morning. You guys know I talk about it every time we do this. It's what I do consistently every single day, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what life throws me. I make my bed and I drink my AG1. That's what I do every single day to start my day.
I love the energy I have with AG1, your immune support, and gut health. Gut health is so important.
Yeah. And I love that they're constantly getting better and making AG1 better year after year, month after month, because that's something I try to do in my own life. I might not succeed, but it's something I want to do. And if I'm partnered with a company that wants to be better, I want to be on their team too.
Go to drinkag1.com/togetherness to get an AG1 flavor sampler and a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2 for free in your AG1 welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/togetherness.
Yeah, and that's every profession. I was just going to say that. You know, this isn't just, we're not talking like entertainment. It happens to be my industry. But a lot of other industries, no matter what you're in, they're downsizing because people, you know, businesses and huge corporations need to show a profit quarter after quarter, year after year for their stockholders, you know? So it's like, prices are getting inflated everywhere. Salaries are not, you know, the cost of living's going up, housing's going up. It's just a little bit crazy right now. So I think everyone's kind of wrapping their heads around it. What do I do? It's not like the old, I'm putting in 50 years, you know what I mean? And you get your pension and you have a little party, whatever that's worth. I hope that still exists in some capacity, but it's like businesses don't care anymore. It's down, you know, it's again, that old saying, in my industry, it's show business, not show friendship, you know? So people really don't care. And like we were talking about on the last podcast, that camaraderie's gone, that workplace, like, hey man, I worked with Greg for 50 years, man. That's how we know each other. We're good friends. It's like people get laid off now. People find different industries. And just going back to like that layoff part, as a man, there is something inside you like that you want to provide for your family, and it bruises your ego and you don't feel like a dad. You know, it's all those little insecurities. I don't know what they are. I guess they're natural. I went through all those too. And I'm like, man, what a loser I am for my kids, you know, but it's just,
but like when that happened to you, I stepped up and then I was, like helping with other stuff. But I mean, it's a team. It's when you're married, it's a team, you know, and when you're down, I'm down. When you're up, I'm up.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's more of the encouragement and things. I think what can make it super stressful is if you don't have that support on the other side.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine, I can't speak on like going through a divorce through that process and things like that. So it made our relationship stronger.
It's stronger. I feel like you and I definitely connected a lot better because I sympathize with you. And then also my dad, I would call my dad because he went through it at 47. And my dad would like be easy on him because you would have days where you might be a little snappy with me. And I was maybe trying too hard to be like listening. And then you were snapping at me. And then my dad's like, go easy on him. He's down right now. He's always coaching me.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I have a different mindset now. And I'm not I like what I do and I like still being in industry, but the industry has changed so much from what I originally got into.
Yeah.
For it to be. And it's like the entertainment aspect is gone. And I didn't get into it for the money or the fame, which a lot of people might think out there. And I'm being honest with you. I got into it because I loved like I'm always a team guy. Like I played team sports my whole life and some people wrestle and that's one-on-one. I never really wrestled. I did when I was younger, but not later on in life. But I was always a team guy and I like that camaraderie. I like that, I'm with this group of people and that's my team. And when I got into this industry, it was creating stuff and I love to create stuff. I love being on a team and that's what it was. So when I started working with CBS, we had our little crew. That was my team. Then I started working with Alex Boylan, who produced Around the World for free. And we created other things and we were a team. And then I got to Daily Blast Live and we were a team outside of work and inside of work and people that you work with, not just on air talent, even more so people that aren't on air. And I can't find that right now just because I feel like it's hard because the cutoffs and where you're at. And
there's no team because there's no creativity anymore and you can't create. So it's all about, I just want numbers, but it's like, you can't get those numbers if you're just putting out shit. And that's really what these people want is just, I don't care what it is. I'm going to put it out there. I don't care about quality. I don't care about this. And they don't focus on that. But I still think, what's good about this is, you still could lose your job in June. You might not have one, which is fine. We'll go through it again. And
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep it positive. I don't want to go down a dark hole here.
No, we're not going
I'm saying like, I just want inspiration wherever that comes from.
Exactly.
And so I like television. I think a lot of people out there, like we finally cut the cord, so we
got rid of cable.
That's what I just said. Yeah, we cut the cord, so it's like, there's not really TV shows that I'm inspired by anymore. If they are, we have apps and I could watch those. But it's like maybe more the process of like, I need to start creating things again with the old people that I used to work with and see if something would fly again, So, but
it's all who you speak to.
And I need to be surrounded by it.
Open-minded and who's going to be like, okay. But I think it's great when you have people like Sam that you still stay in contact with because you guys are in the same boat.
Yeah, but it's not like LA where you're surrounded by it.
Yeah.
You're going out, everyone's kind of talking, hey, what are you doing now? But what about this idea?
I don't think LA now is the LA that you had but when you left, because a lot of people are gone. I talked to a girlfriend of mine on the phone yesterday. She lives in LA and for an hour and a half, and she's in she goes, I understand Jeff so much, even though I'm in a different type of industry. She's in film. And she goes, but what he's experiencing is the same thing I'm experiencing on my end. It's just different, but it's the same.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. It's not just on air. It's behind the cameras. It's the makeup people. It's the directors, producers. There are no camera guys. They're robotic. We've talked about all the things that have changed and all the things that have downside, but there's only so much that you could cut off before if you take a steak and cut off all the fat, what are you left with? You're out maybe a little piece of meat. It's like not that any of those things were fat. It's like you got to serve the whole meal. Mm-hmm. And now what they're serving in the entertainment industry is either you got a big budget with a big, streamer like Netflix or something like that, where they give you the money to do that, or you bring it to them at a lower budget and you're cutting different things out. And I just don't know where, especially just television, like network television, like the news. I don't know if you guys are on the page of like, I don't even watch the news anymore. I don't trust media outlets anymore.
Hang on. I have to tell you this. So I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and their family has a place in Puerto Vallarta, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, how are things going? Because I just briefly saw about Puerto Vallarta. They keep showing the Costco, the cartel, and like everything on fire.
Yeah.
And they said, that Costco's not on fire. I go, what are you talking about? I go, it's on like the news. It's all over Instagram. She's like, no, the news is exaggerating everything. I go, so what's on fire? She goes, it's not. They're exaggerating everything. And because she has family down there.
I know, but I don't know if I'd use that statement from one phone call you made,
Well, I don't know. I was just talking to somebody, and I was just trying to, like, the news. I don't trust the news.
There's other examples.
Okay.
We don't know what's happening down in Mexico. Jordan doesn't have a link to the cartel. You could call your guy, El Chapo.
I would not mess with the cartel. Why would anybody get involved with the cartel? Like, I watch too many movies and I see things like that. I mean, if you don't mess with the cartel, they're not going to mess with you. Like, my mom all the time would be like, oh my gosh, don't go to Cabo. I saw on the news. I go, Mom, Cabo's basically California. It's all California people down there. It's like so touristy. It's fine. And she's like, you have to be careful for the cartel. I go, trust me, I'm not going anywhere near the cartel.
Well,
I think if you're messing with the cartel and doing a drug deal and making deals, yeah, I guess they're going to come after you. But I think if you stay away from them, they're not going to mess with you.
So you're on the side the cartel's sensible. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should take advice from Jordan. So if you go outside the country or to Mexico, be cautious, especially with children and things like that, because there's other ways that they could make money, trafficking children and all those things.
Driving my car and because they probably stop me and be like, we need money or whatever. But I would definitely be staying at the resort. I would stay at a very touristy place.
All right.
Because they don't want to mess.
Speaking of driving off the resort, let's get back on track and stay in the resort.
Okay, sorry.
Because we're trying to our conversations lately have just been all over the place. And if I say octopus to Jordan, there's 8 different ways she's going with that story. So it's let's stay on topic here with what we're talking about.
Okay.
With just entertainment. Okay. What was I saying before you got
about the news?
The news.
I don't know if you guys watch the news.
Right. So me personally, do whatever you want and watch whatever you want. I don't. It's insane to me that when you watch CNN, and I'll use these 2 main media outlets, if you watch CNN, you get one story, and if you watch Fox News, it's a totally different story. But it's the same story. And that's how everybody's interpreting every single story now. Speaking of octopus, it could be the exact same story, and you could talk to 8 different people and they'll interpret that story 8 different ways. It's not like Tom Brokaw is giving you the news and there's 2 other channels to watch and that's it, like the old days. And that's what you're watching and they're giving you the news and that's what it is. Now you watch a story, everything involved that is just nonsense is thrown into that. It becomes political and you're like, what the hell was I talking about? Yeah. So I don't trust the news anymore. I don't watch the news. We cut the cable cord. I'll see things on my own and watch and make my own interpretations, just like other people do. And that's just what it is. And as far as entertainment goes, that's leaked in to entertainment now. Everything's got to be this or that. And it's look at the show. I was talking with someone the other day. When you look at the shows that really push the edge, they're cartoons. You know what I mean? The Simpsons.
Back in the day?
No, not Tom and Jerry.
No, I didn't mean Tom and Jerry.
No, I'm talking about the Simpsons. Okay. They're still on the air. They've been on forever. Family Guy has been on the air forever.
Wait, the Simpsons, they're still making new content? Yeah. I thought the Simpsons were just reruns.
No, they're still making new content.
Still?
South Park has been on forever. They're all cartoons because you can't get mad at a cartoon. Do you know what I mean? You can't.
I never thought
you can't have a political issue. You can't have a sexual issue, a racial issue. They're cartoons. You can't get mad at a cartoon. And they really push the envelope and they're really funny. They really hit on topic things and they make fun of them in a way that if you were on a sitcom, you'd be canceled.
Yeah.
So we're I don't run media or run corporations or anything, but where's the happy medium? Where's the medium where you could take a show with people, but somehow mix in like that element of you could say whatever you want that the cartoons do, and that would be entertainment. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like you just can't right now. I feel like people are
that's
still
ridiculous. Speaking of cutting the cord and like there's nothing left, there's a billion streamers. I was just trying to put our TVs on all the streamers we have and get rid of the ones that your TV comes with.
Yeah.
If you don't like the content, go somewhere else. There's something for everybody. There's on every streamer, no matter what your race, religion, sexuality, you could find it. So why do you have to go to other places and like knock it down? Why would you, if you're not of that race and religion, why would you write?
I think it gives people something to talk about.
But that's what I mean. Like, who cares? Everyone's being too careful now. And as long as you're not blatantly racist or hurting somebody or making fun of someone's race or religion, it's like, it's good to laugh at yourself, Yes,
I love that. I love
but not in a degrading way. It's like, where's that balance? Television is getting too careful. Shows are getting too careful.
But that's, I feel like, why people go to streaming, because you can watch whatever you want, like what you're saying.
But if you make a funny joke, I don't know, name up on Ted Lasso. I'm just trying to, whatever it is.
The roast of Tom Brady, that was funny. That had
but that had its controversies too, I
know people got mad, but that was funny.
I thought it was great. Again, you don't hear every day is like, how dare South Park? How dare Family Guy? How dare The Simpsons do that? And they push the edge.
Because you would look mentally insane if you were mad at a cartoon.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
You're mentally insane when you're talking about someone who's acting on television and you think that's who their persona is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, people look at television. It's such a gray area now, like celebrity, that you think this is who these people are.
I feel like Taylor Sheridan, the one making all the, Yellowstone and like Landman, I feel like he's kind of pushed the envelope and people turn towards him, and all his stuff has blown up. Like, he's a good example of someone, because 1923, and I just feel like people are looking for like wholesome stuff, Landman's I think it's the best show. I love it.
I love it too, but a lot of people have a problem with it.
But it's not for everybody.
But if
some people might not like it.
But if you have a problem with it, why are you watching it? Like, that's what I don't get.
I think some people are just miserable and negative and want something to say. I love that one of the lines Billy Bob had when he said about The View, he goes, it's just miserable old ladies like talking.
Well, some people love it and that's what they like, but I don't write The View saying that opinion you gave is insane.
Yeah.
I just don't watch it.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So when are we going to get back to like, leave me alone and I'll leave you alone and let me do my thing and you do your thing? I'm not saying on a television show. I'm just saying in life in general. Like, it seems like even when you have conversations with a stranger, it's just like, could you believe what's happening in Venezuela? And it's like, do you even know where the fuck Venezuela is? Like, you watch social media for 2 minutes and now you're an expert on world travel and what's happening in geopolitics. Like, get away from me with what you read on Twitter for 2 seconds and give me your opinion from some bubble you came from. I'm not interested anymore. I'm not interested in it.
I love when they they walk around college campuses or walk around a city and they ask somebody
so you're describing exactly the person that I just said.
Yeah, no, but they ask them a question and it's like, it makes no sense, and somebody goes on a tangent about it and it's something that probably hasn't even happened or hasn't made sense. I actually just sent you something on Instagram. I laughed so hard and they were like, oh, how did so-and-so do? And they're like, terrible. And the thing didn't even happen yet. But people were just talking.
That's how quick people are to give an opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of saying like, I have a friend who's going through that and I'm sympathetic to them, but to be honest, I don't know what's happening in the Middle East. But if you ask somebody what's going on and what side you're on in the Middle East, most people would tell you your opinion. And I'm like, how do you know?
Yeah.
You have no idea. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. You have no idea what's happening.
Jeff does these I'm not changing the subject, but Jeff does these like man on the street type things. And when you were doing the Broncos, you tricked some people like that asking questions. Yeah. Who was the person's name?
Oh man, I made up a couple funny names.
You made up like a couple names like, oh, how did Jordan Lloyd do in the Super Bowl or something? Somebody's like, oh, it's great.
Shaq Morris.
Yeah. And it's not even a person, right?
Yeah.
But I love things like that. Or on, is it Jimmy Kimmel or Fallon? When they have, let's say, like Jennifer Lawrence out and they're like, oh, Jennifer Lawrence, she's horrible. She's a terrible actress. I love Jennifer Aniston. And then they're saying it to Jennifer Lawrence, to her face. And they don't, for some reason, recognize Jennifer Lawrence. That stuff is so funny to me.
Jimmy Kimmel used to have a segment where he'd go out on Hollywood Boulevard. Was it called like Dumb People or something?
Maybe.
Like you can't do that anymore.
No.
But why not? Why can't we laugh at ourselves? Why can't we tell someone like, I don't know. It's just so serious. You know what I mean? Like you do that and like, what do you think about Jennifer Lawrence? Oh, she's such a bitch. And like, hey, stupid, I'm Jennifer Lawrence. Oh my God. I'm so, I know, but now it's like you get sued because they have some sort of mental issue. And now it's like so crazy. It's so insane that you could say whatever you want. But if I say something to you, it's like, you really affected my feelings. Well, how do you think it made me feel? You know, it's like everyone's so taken aback. First of all, is it taken back or taken aback? I think it's taken aback, but I always say taken back.
I say taken back, but I'm wrong on everything.
Speaking of dumb people, yeah. So I think it is taken aback, but I've never said that. But it's just so, people are so offended by everything. It's just, the offense, it just has gotten to a point where it's really, I don't care anymore. I hate to say that because I love communication and I love talking to people. And it's not all people. When you look at the internet, you're looking at extremes from both sides. You know what I mean? So it's both sides and that's all you see getting jammed down your throat. That's why I'm choosing to cut the cord. Don't really stay off social media.
I feel better when I'm not on. So I don't really post. Like, I think it's so weird when people post like every little minute, like what they wore, what they ate for dinner, what they're doing, their kid playing ball, every little detail. I'm like, and I was one of those people doing that, but I've like taken a step back. I'm like, people don't need to see Leighton scoring a goal at his game. Yeah,
but sometimes you're just doing it because you're proud, not just because you're showing off. So again, I try to be sympathetic to other people, what they're going through or what their objective is. But I don't know. I'm looking for inspiration. That's the whole thing. I need inspiration to inspire myself. I love being inspired. I love people, even that I interview, that I go out on the show that I'm on, and whether it's their restaurant or the food that they cook or the shop that they just opened, whatever it is, all walks of life we do interviews with. When they're passionate about what they do and they're excited about what they do, I could talk to that person all day.
Well, you're talking the advice like you're giving or the stuff you say, you need to take your own advice.
Exactly.
And look at yourself. I told Jeff that the other day. I was like, you had like a couple drinks. I was like, you need to take your own advice.
No, you're right.
Getting information.
No.
Like, I don't know. You start like lecturing a little bit, but you need to find inspiration, whether that means you go somewhere and like go hang with your friends or like, I don't know, go wherever you get inspired.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I want to be inspired. I want to surround myself with like inspiration, whether it's what I watch on television or the people I talk to, because your mind dictates everything you do. And again, I'm talking to myself here because I have been in a rut. I have been down, and I don't want to we feel like we end up on this subject every podcast, but it is where your mind goes. And if you surround yourself with positivity and the stories we talk about or what we are on this podcast, inspiring other people, that brings inspiration with us, within ourselves. I mean,
yeah, like listening to certain podcasts, I say this, or like just sitting outside, like, or I could be talking to somebody and then I'm like, wow, I feel really good today, and you're very about who you're with. Like if you're with Bert, your old boss, you come back and you're like in a good mood and you're like ready to tackle. And then as soon as you get back, tackle your dreams. And then as soon as you get back hanging out, like doing your normal routine, then that goes away. So it's like, you have to like I'm always like, keep calling your boss, call Sam, call your friends in LA, the people that understand you. So you feel inspired.
I feel like this has been somehow turning into a therapy session for me.
Is it?
I meant it to be inspiring for other people. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what the thing is. I don't know.
You feel like you're on a bicycle and you're just pedaling and you don't know what's going on or what's happening. And you're like, wait, where's my life going? Are we going this way? Are we going that way? But should we stay this way? This is safe, or should we go that way? And then it's like, wait, this is going to crumble. I'm going to take out all my savings and start this business. Oh shit. I don't know if I should do that because I have a family, or should I take this route or that route? Blah, blah, blah. That's how you are.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
But I feel like I need to get all like that, and then I get like that.
I know. I need to get all the other shit, as you put it, out of my boat. I need to get all that shit out of my boat. If I'm going down the river,
get out of your basket and start riding your bike.
What is that?
Out of the basket. Get your stuff out of the basket, not in your boat. Do your basket, because I was talking about riding your bicycle.
All right, I'm going ET. I'm going a different way. I'm going to be in my boat.
ET.
I'm going to be in my boat, but I got to get all the other shit out of my boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which means like social media, cable, negative people that don't inspire me. Everyone's going overboard. And everybody else who inspires me, who's good to be around, success, I want them all in my boat.
I drowned a couple people.
No, but
they're off my boat.
That's mean. You got to go. You have to have like a clear heart. You know what I mean? You can't listen. I want to drown a ton of people, but I don't want that energy in my boat. I shouldn't even think that about other people. I shouldn't waste my energy for real. I shouldn't waste my energy about like, I'm worrying about where I'm driving, not holding somebody's head underwater.
You
know what
be
I mean?
the better person,
yes.
And I'll drown them.
No, we got to get away from that. We got to get away from like wanting hate for other people. You know what I mean?
I don't want hate for people, but there's just some people I'd rather
have indifference, which means you don't care about them, than having space. Because if I have hate for you, you're holding something in you. I don't want it.
Holding you back.
No, it's just like, again, I always use that cup of water analogy. Oh. You're a drop of water in my cup when it could be a drop of something else if I didn't have you in my cup, you know? So it's like, I don't even want to hate for somebody. I just want indifference. If I know you don't want the best for me, it's not, I'm going to be like, I used to be that guy to be like, you know what? Fuck you. Now it's like, I know you don't want the best for me. So I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm going to go over here and just move on with my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Holding on to those grudges, holding on to hate that's one less thing that you could have that's positive. There's only so much room in our brains.
It's true. Yeah. I get it.
Do you? Because you sound like you don't.
I get it. You're a better person than me.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to be a better person. You don't think when I'm you know what I am better at? I'll give you an example. I used to be like not a road rager.
Oh,
I guess I was.
You were.
I know. I'm sorry. I take that back.
I've been with you for a very long time.
But I've never ran somebody off the road or gotten a fight. You know what I mean? I've had rage in my car.
Are you forgetting outside of your doctor's appointment, you and that guy?
Okay, maybe a handful of times. But the point is, I
was like, oh my God, am I going to have to call the cops?
I know, and I had a broken arm. What was I thinking? Like I said, there was rage. I had rage. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying now is I just noticed this the other day. This guy was up my ass. And I've noticed it a couple of times and and give me the finger.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm just, because I'm not going, I was going like 80 and they wanted me to go like 100.
That always happens when you go towards the city.
Whatever it is.
Okay.
I just moved to the side. I'm like, go ahead. I'm going 80. It's not like I'm doing something wrong or I didn't use my turn signal or something. I'm going 80 and they wanted to go faster. So go ahead, man. Go around me. And I just pulled it aside. It's totally not worth it anymore. Again, I wasn't that guy before, but I've learned now, just pull it aside. Let them go. And guess what? They're gone. They're not my problem anymore. They'll probably be someone else's problem in a little bit, but I don't know that other person who they're going to be a problem with or the guy who was the problem in the first place. I got to use that analogy in different aspects of my life. If things aren't pushing you in the right direction or giving you positivity, let it go just like a car on the road. Let that go and you're going to be fine. Just keep on driving. That was pretty good.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
The guy was riding on my tail the other day and I slowed down.
We got to get rid of that. We got to stop that.
He made me so mad, but I had Leighton in the car.
Listen,
I was like, if he shoots me, I was like, that's not good. And so, people get shot now for that. But I did slow down because he made me mad.
There's still a little big Jeff in there. That's like, oh, this motherfucker. But, I'm just going to pull over.
No, you are.
I'm going to eat some sunflower
so
seeds.
Calm. Yeah. And like with the boys, you're so calm.
Because it's not worth it.
And I'm not.
Because control the things that you could control. Again, I'm talking to myself here. Control what I could control. And the things that I can't control, don't let it bother me. Mm-hmm. What the opinions, the no's, all that. Just keep driving till you get to your destination, which is a yes or a success or something else that serves you in a positive way.
I like it. I like this. All right, guys.
We're going to end it there?
Yeah.
I think it's.
I don't know. I hope you like this episode.
That was a good button.
We all got problems and we all got stuff we're going through.
What they think about this episode, we can't control.
Exactly.
So don't ask them.
Don't drown anybody. Just that's what we learned today. Don't drown them. Be the bigger person. Just say, you can't be on my boat anymore. You're not my friend.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not my friend.
We'll name our boat for next episode. You guys name it. Write in and name our boat, our positivity boat. All right, this is going to blow your mind because
is it?
Yeah.
And we didn't look through this.
Okay, this is crazy because we did not set this up at all. This is pretty. Wait till you hear this. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. The opposite of art is not ugliness, it's indifference. The opposite of faith is not hearsay, it's indifference. The opposite of life is not death, it's indifference.
We were meant to do this episode, you guys. That's weird.
That is weird.
That's so weird.
All right, we're going to get on the positive. It was meant to
be like this.
No more positive training.
Has anybody saged their house before? Before we get off on this? It's about positive.
Octopus.
No, it's about positive. The plumber was telling me that I need to sage the house. The plumber was at my house yesterday and he goes, sage it. You'll feel good energy and it'll be positive. And I go, I don't know. I got to look into this. I've never saged before. But anyways, have a good rest of your day. Keep it positive.
And be nice to your plumber.